guys, and welcome to the third episode of Behind the Lens, where today our first shoot is at Camford Weir on the River Stour, where I'm going to be doing long exposures to capture the movement of water. If you want to go about creating shots like you see in the video, then you'll need a tripod and a DSLR that is able to shoot in manual. So to get started, I set up my tripod. The reason for one is that we're going to be shooting at low shutter speeds. This means that any movement will be converted as a motion blur. If you shoot handheld, your DSLR will pick up your hand movements as motion blur, making the frame blurry. Using a tripod reduces this significantly. With my DSLR mounted to the tripod, let's talk about the camera's settings. For the shoot I was in manual, so I could manually set my aperture, ISO and shutter speed. So the process we're using is called motion rendition. If you set your DSLR with a fast shutter speed, like 1/4000th of a second, you're going to freeze the action. Compared with a slow shutter speed, like 1/5 of a second, which makes anything fast moving appear blurred. So to get the water blurred, we need a shutter speed of 1/8 of a second or higher. For the shoot, I chose 1/5 of a second. Also, because we have a slow shutter speed, we need to compensate for this by using a small aperture. For this, we need an f-stop of f16 or higher. I chose f22 for this. This creates a maximum depth of field, making the image sharp from front to back. For our ISO, we will want the lowest possible. I chose ISO 100. Please also note that you may also need an optional polarizing filter for the lens, which reduces light glare off rocks and the water, which increases color depthness, although it will reduce your exposure by 1.5 to 2 stops, which allows you to have even slower shutter speeds. Now some of you may be wondering, Ben, I've taken some shots and they look really overexposed. Well, first of all, make sure you're shooting in RAW, and also don't worry, because if you shoot in RAW and you go into Adobe Lightroom, you can reduce the exposure and it comes out crystal clear. Now for me, I hadn't done this before, so I found it a real big challenge. As long as you get the composition right and your camera settings right, it works out all fine. Also in post as well, that makes a huge difference. The way you create your images, the way you edit them, has a big impact on how the final image looks. Composition is important, but also what sometimes is important is getting close to your subject. In this case, I got close by getting into the water. Luckily with wellies and the waterproof tripod, I was able to capture some really nice shots from in the water. Of course you could go the extra mile and actually swim, or you could get a boat if you wanted to. Not that I would in this very fast moving water. What happens if you want to remain dry but also get closer to your subject? Well, you can do this by simply removing and adding a different lens. In some cases, the longer the focal length, the more stops of light you reduce. This enables you to have a slower shutter speed. For the second shoot, we're at Chesil Beach near Weymouth. I found this shoot quite difficult, not because waves pose a threat to photographers, but the pebbles which lay upon Chesil in their millions do to you. Let's say my brother wants to run down a huge mound of them, it's my chance to grin. Yes, they are definitely vicious in their millions. So anyway guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, and if you did enjoy this video, please of course leave a like down below and comment what was your favourite part about the video. If you want to see more behind the lens videos, have a look on screen now, there should be a few popping up. If you're willing to, please of course hit that subscribe button, it really helps me out a lot, so you can stay up to date with more behind the lens videos as they are produced. Anyway guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, I'll be seeing you soon, and yes, bye bye.